Okay, so this is going to show you how to make the pattern for this little crossover skirt. Okay, so you've got the front bit, you need two front bits and back bit, and this is a flared one. And the good thing about this skirt is it's really easy because you haven't got to sew any darts and you haven't got to put a zip in the back. So it's a good choice if you're just getting used to sewing. Right, I'm going to use our skirt block to do it. Okay, so I'm going to make this one a mini. So I'm just going to go around the skirt block. My dart in, this is the front. I'm not going to add much of a flare to this, just more like maybe an A-line really. Okay, and now I get my grader, wherever it is. Okay, so I've marked around there. Don't forget to mark in the dart point and your little notches there, the mini length. We're going to have this a mini. Okay, so get my grader. I'm going to mark in our dart. Now this is the front. You know it's the dart because of the front, because the front only has one dart, and this is going to be a cut to fold seam. So write that on, cut to fold. So as with the bags that we did, you know, you put this on the fold of the fabric and we have one piece. I'm going to put some seam allowances in this now, so I am putting 1 centre seam allowance on the bottom. You need to put a 2 centre seam allowance, so no, actually a 1, like that, because when you were going to end up with a flared hem. A little seam allowance there. So you're just getting your grader, and if we're putting a 1 centimetre seam allowance, just that line there, you're just going to lie that against your side seam. Okay, now when we get to our hip line, which is there, we've got to start pivoting this. And we're just going to pivot it, and every sort of centimetre along, we're going to just turn it round so that that line here is making contact with this seam. Okay, and you're just going to draw that in. Let me see, that's a bit of a curve on the hem, on the hip. And then we'll put our, this is quite straight at the front. Okay, so that's our seam allowance. There we go. Now, we need to measure in from the centre, this is the centre front CF. If you want to write centre front in, you can, just to help you remember. We want to measure how far that is in, and that's 8.5. So I'm going to measure 8.5 down here. And then I'm going, 8.5, sorry, there we go. I'm going to put that line down there. Now, this is going to be a fold. So what I'm going to do is cut these out both together. So we're going to have to cut a whole front out. Okay. So cut along here. And along here. So we've actually got 2 pieces when we open it up. full size for the front of the skirt. And we've got to do 2 of these like this because we have 2 pieces. There's actually, on the flared skirt, there's 2 pieces rather than, if you can compare it to a mini skirt, you've just got the 1 piece in the front. But this skirt, it's basically asymmetrical. It's got 2 pieces. It's got this bit we've just cut out, okay, and we've got this bit. So we need to cut 2 patterns for that. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do is put these things in here, and push that through. We've got a hole on this side as well, so we've got our dart on this side. What I'm going to do now is cut through this up to the dart, right up to that dart point, and open it out. And now we need to get a bit of sellotape. We're going to make this into a little flare now. And that's going to give it a nice shape, but it's also going to save you having to sew darts in, which makes the job a lot easier and gives you a nice little flared shape, which is really cute. So I'm just going to see where I've nicked that. See where I've nicked this top of the dart here. So you can put a line in between that if you want to. Line in there, so I'm going to draw these darts in. Okay, I'm going to go down here with this and fold that dart in as well. So basically it's just like making a pattern for a flared skirt, except we're making it with the hole. With the whole front opened out. Okay, that's enough. We don't want to put a massive flare on this, just a little, more like an A-line really. And I'm going to get some paper and put it underneath and fill in these bits. Let's get some new paper. 1 sec. That should be okay. It fits on there. We've got our seam allowance on. Okay, and do that, and then all we need to do now is cut, or you can actually mark that in now with your grader, because we've got a little bit of a flare, we've got a curved seam now. Okay, so let's mark it all up together, put the new seam in. I'll just use that curve of the grader to fill in. Okay, so this is our new seam. And I'm going to cut that out. Maybe put a bit more sellotape on it till it's all sellotaped down. Okay, great. So we've already added the seam allowance. So when we folded that over in two, you can just see we've added the seam allowance to this side as well. I'm just going to, I can see that original line. You might not be able to see it. Cut that out. Right, so that's one front. Okay. But when we cut this out, we are going to cut it to the fold. But you'll understand the reason that I've got to have two in a minute. Okay, but first of all, I'm just going to write this up. So this is a wrap over skirt. It is a size 16. It is the front, but it's the front under. So when I say it's the front under, it's because it's this bit, okay, which is the full width. So the front under, and you're going to cut one. Okay, and I put my name on it, Anita. Okay, so now we're going to do the front over, but which is this bit. Okay, this is the over piece, and as you see, it doesn't go the whole way. It doesn't. And it's shaped, I've shaped it this way. You could shape it whatever way you wanted. You could shape it coming straight down. You could make it a curve or whatever. But this is the front over. And the good news is, what we have to do to get the front over is just basically trace around this pattern. Okay, because we've already done it once. Oh, let's find the paper. This paper's big enough. Just get a piece of paper big enough. Hold it down, and it's not quite as easy to trace around as your manila, but just hold it in place, and if you put sellotape on the edges it should make it a little bit easier. I'm just doing dots on it. Okay, that's all you need. And trace over it, and that's going to save having to do it. All over again. Okay, and right around this. See, when you take the darts, you know, when you remove these darts, it makes this waist curve more. A few more little. I find if you just have dots, join the dots, you can actually just use them as a guide to cut, you know. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm just going to cut around that. See? So if you're wondering why this is so small, look, and it looks nothing like yours, it's because I'm using a size 60, half size pattern. Okay. Now we're going to, well, we could have this, you know, these front skirts crossing over each other right to the seam, but it's not very flattering. We've just got this bit hanging, and that's obviously shaped for a seam. So I'm going to come down about just about where the waist starts. Finished. So if you put this on it, there's our waist start there that we've closed. I'm going to come down and I'm going to put a style liner. And this is where this gets to be your design. You know, you could have it so it comes right down straight, or you could do a curve like this with your, you've got a nice curve in it like that, so it's swishing towards the bottom. In mine, I've just done sort of a little line like that. Now all I'm going to do is cut that, add seam allowance to that line, that style line. A centimetre seam allowance. Now don't forget the rest of it's already got seam allowance added to it, because you did it the first time and you've just traced around it. So that's all the seam allowance we need to put on this piece. Okay, now I'll cut that off. So that's my style that I've done, but as I say, you come straight down, you come round. Now we're going to mark that up. So this is wrap over mini skirt, wrap over skirt, and it's a size 16. It's the top front, and you need to cut times one, because there's only one. Okay, now let me get the little skirt back again. Get the pattern pieces so you can see what's going on. Right, so that's the under bit, and that's the pattern for the under bit. Okay, and then this is the over top bit, and that's the pattern for the over top bit. Okay, so when we've got, it looks big now, but when we've taken all our seam allowances off it, it's perfect. So put them to one side. Okay, and now we're just going to do a back bit. Okay, now we're going to cut the back of the mini skirt, of the wrap over skirt. So we're still going to start with our normal skirt block, draw around. This time we've got 2 darts, but we are going to close them. So don't forget to do this in pencil. Okay, just to there, and put our little This is our straight grain line, and this is our dart points, so don't forget to put them in, because the first thing that you need to do is to get your grader, which I keep losing, draw in your darts. Here. I think these skirt blocks you're going to use have actually got these perpendicular lines drawn into them. You just draw them in to the bottom. Okay, now this time we only have to cut half a pattern because there's only one back piece, so just cut it the normal way. But this seam, because the back of the mini skirt hasn't got, the backs of most skirts have a seam in, so the back of this mini skirt doesn't have a seam. Okay, so that's lots of things that you don't have to put in this skirt. You don't have to put darts in, and you don't have to put a seam in. You're just going to have to put like little buttons there to hold that in place. Okay, so let's just put that cut to fold. Okay, so there's no centre back seam on this. I think we'll add the seam allowance now as well before we open it up. So you just get your, do you want to watch me do this again? Lines. Just pivot. There you go. And just join the dots. Centimetre seam on the bottom. This is going to end up being a bit of a curved seam, so we don't want to have a big, when you're using you're sewing a circular seam or a curved seam, you only have a very small seam allowance on it, otherwise it's really hard to sew. And your seam allowance will look much smaller on yours than mine does. You know, just bear in mind I'm using a half size pattern. So I'm going to cut that out. Right up here, no seam allowance on here, cut to fold, don't forget that. Just like when you were making your bags, you didn't put a seam allowance on that. And seam allowance here. Seam allowance here. Okay, you're going to snip down one side of your dart just to that dart point, but leave a little time just before the dart point. Okay, and then you're going to slash, that's the actual correct terminology for it, up here. Don't totally, leave a little tiny bit of paper, just in case you get lost, and then just keep everything joined together for now. So just so you've got a little tiny bit of paper holding it on up, just enough to swivel it. Okay. What we're going to do here now is we're going to close those darts up. If you see, when you close the darts, what happens is you end up curving the waist. That was straight before, now it's curved, and adding all of this volume to the bottom of the skirt. Okay, so if we just get a little bit of paper now, put that on there. Just want to fill these pieces in here. You take your time doing this, I'm rushing. So that is like a way of manipulating darts or transferring your darts. Okay, you might have seen how you can transfer darts to other parts of your pattern, but you can also transfer them into your hemline as well. Okay, and now, oh, over there. You can always use a Pritt stick to do this. So now what we're going to do, see that hem's sort of quite curved now as well. So we're going to put the new hem in. Okay. Okay, just going to cut that out now. We've added seam allowance to this, so oops. So that's the back. Let's put all the notation on it as usual. Right, so this is a wrap over skirt, size 16, you put whatever size you're using. This is the back, got one, unfold and a neater. Okay, so for your wrap over skirt you should have one that's going to be cut on the fold. Okay, this full one that we've traced out, but we're going to cut that on the fold. We made it full so we could trace around it. Okay, we've got that one, and then we've got this top bit of the skirt. Okay, and then if you look at another video, I can show you how to make a facing for this. But if you just think that's enough for you at the moment, and you know you want to get your head around that, I will give you a pattern for a facing, so don't worry about it. Okay, so we've got 3 bits of our pattern here, so let's mark it up. 1 of 3, 2 of 3, 4 of 3. When we get our facing, we're going to have more pattern pieces, so we might have to change that. But that's all ready to... Oh, something we forgot to do there is add the grain line to this. Okay. So what I should have done there, when I put this on here, I should have marked the centre. Okay. And the centre of it's here as well. So that's important that that is goes onto the grain line. Let me get my before we cut that up, I should have you need to do your grain line in there as well. Okay. I've marked it on the wrong side, but if I just fold it over like that, let's get it over here. So that's my straight grain. SG. Okay. All ready for cutting.